Our closing storyteller, Beatrice Soto, is a proud Mexicana. However, she has deep roots in the United States as well. She has always felt she belongs in both places, but never completely Mexicana and never completely gringa. She graduated from Basalt High School and went on to study architecture in Chihuahua City. Having had the opportunity to work both in the US and Mexico, she has engaged in a diverse range of architectural and community projects, always with a focus on environmental and social justice. She is very passionate about sustainable and conscientious design. In her 15 years of architectural experience, Beatrice has worked on a variety of energy-related projects, from net zero affordable housing to professional trainings with the Mexican Green Building Council. She is now director of the Defiende Nuestra Tierra program for Wilderness Workshop. She also runs the workforce training for Community Office of Resource Efficiency, designs homes and remodels throughout the valley, and on top of being the mum of a very energetic 8-year-old, she has a very strong passion for her community, social and environmental justice. Beatrice also volunteers in schools to encourage young Latinx to see themselves as leaders in STEM fields and become stewards of the land, and to understand the importance of their voice in environmental issues. Let's put our hands together and make a huge noise for Beatrice.
I'm a little sick, so if I start coughing, I apologize. Era una noche de invierno. Era una noche oscura. Era una noche muy fría. It was a winter night. It was a cold night. It was a dark night. A young couple and their 2 baby girls are dropped off on a lonely road in the middle of the desert. They have never been to this place before. Through the shrubs and the dense grasses, they must bushwhack their way until they get to the edge of the river. When they are crossing the river, they realize the water is biting cold. When they finally get to the other edge of the river, they realize their journey has just begun. Now, even colder because they're wet, they must continue their journey. In silence, they are hidden and do not want to be seen. This is where my story begins. The young couple are my parents. The river is el Río Bravo. Me, I am one of the babies they are holding in their arms. Through many hardships and struggles, my young, undocumented family soon finds itself in beautiful, lush, air-conditioned, humidity-controlled Florida. I have very fond memories of West Palm Beach, but one of the things I remember the most was comfort. School had an AC system that was blasting all the time. To be honest, I always felt cold. When I would walk home from the bus stop and open my front door, cold, dry, cool air would always receive me. I took long baths with endless amounts of running hot water. You see, we lived in a really nice middle-class neighborhood in an oversized home with a huge green lawn and a beautiful garden. My parents were very successful. They owned their own business, their own home, regardless of the fact that they were undocumented. But as time passed, my parents grew concerned that we were losing our language, our culture, and our identity. So they decided it was time to move back to Mexico. Chihuahua is a beautiful, joyful, colorful city. I am thrilled to be here. It seems so familiar, even though I've never been to this place before. Well, when I was a baby. But pretty soon, I start noticing differences in my comfort. School does not have an AC system at all. When I walk home from a hot day and open the front door, I have to go into my house and turn on the swamp cooler. We're only allowed to use it when we are physically inside the building. Water. Water is rationed. We only get a certain amount of hours of water at certain times of the day. No more long hot baths. No more useless green lawn. When winter comes, it is cold. And my mother only keeps our home mildly warm. I remember she used to put a little pot with water and cinnamon over our rustic gas heater. My home always smelled so delightful. She would also bake a lot in the winter. And this had a dual purpose. She was warming up our home, and she was baking. When I was inside, I wore shoes and sweaters. When I would go to bed, we had a ton of blankets over our small bodies. And on really, really cold nights, I would wear a winter hat, and sometimes I saw my freezing breath. You see, we were really mindful with our resources. And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. My time in Mexico has always been wonderful. I'm just highlighting some little differences. My now widowed mother is struggling, and she decides it's time to come back. And this is how I end up in beautiful Colorado. We are happy to support her, and we have very good memories of the United States. So we're thrilled to be here. Pretty soon, mi familia is running around barefoot and shorts, regardless of the fact that it's freezing outside and it's snowing like crazy. This was like, wow, how is it not cold? I get my long, hot showers back. As a 17-year-old, that felt pretty good. However, due to my legal status and my strong desires for higher education, I have to study architecture in Mexico. As life works, this is actually a blessing in disguise. Pretty soon, I learned how to design small, efficient, beautiful, and only to our basic needs. How to do more with less. Literally, not philosophically. And when I get back to this beautiful valley, I'm fortunate enough to land a job in an architecture firm that focuses on sustainability. My career just goes to a whole nother level. I get to go to trainings, forums, community events on how we're going to plan to be more resilient in the face of climate change. And I always look around the room. I really do this, I promise. And I am one of the only, if not the only Latina in this spaces. This truly, truly saddens me because I understand how much my community has to offer. We are environmentalists at heart. This is our normal. We live densely. We are not a disposable culture. We fix and we reuse everything, you have no idea, for the longest time. Go into a fridge and you'll see all the toppers from butter and from yogurt, and people reuse it. They don't recycle it, they reuse it. And I asked myself, how is this not a great value to bring to the table? How is this not great knowledge to share with others? It might seem a little foreign. It might be called something different. It might challenge the ridiculously high living standards that use our natural resources as if they were infinite and as if there were no consequences. And I begin to question myself. Am I doing the right thing? Am I even in the right profession? I begin to question the oversized, green homes that are second or third homes that I am helping design and build. I begin to question all those lonely, empty homes that I am helping design. I begin to question the inequity in our housing system. And I begin to question myself, the inequity in design. Tonight, I implore all of you to value the environmentalist nature in our immigrant community, to hold high this resource that we have right here. Tonight, I invite all of you to learn in two directions, to be humble enough to learn from each other. Tonight, I invite you all to think about how we overuse our natural resources. I invite you all to feel a little uncomfortable. Thank you.
So I want to just thank English in Action with all my heart for opening up the voices of our Latino and multilingual community so that we get the opportunity to hear these voices, to give me the opportunity to curate and listen and guide just a little these stories that come pouring out. And so thank you so much, everyone at English in Action, for creating this event. And can I ask the storytellers to come up one more time and just come and take a bow?